Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another week. I am Andy Cruz here in Business Development.
And this is Will Flores with Mortgage Heroes.
So we're going to come back to you and talk about a couple of things. So first, happy Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great time. We are already in the month of December. That is crazy. The end of the year is here. There's important things we need to talk about in planning for 2023.
December 1st today, right?
December 1st, yeah. So there's important things we got to talk about for 2023, and then some opinion we're going to share about some things. I'm going to let him take the lead because he's got some notes he wants to share with you today.
Yeah. So obviously, once again, thank you, everyone. Last month was a month of being thankful and grateful. And so I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I just got back last week. Wasn't here because of was on vacation, and so I just got back. So here I am, a little rusty, but ready to go at it. Again, hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I know we did. And once again, I'm thankful and grateful to have you guys. And Andy, I'm so grateful to have you here. Okay?
Likewise.
And now it's December, like you just mentioned, and it's time to enjoy Santa and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So here we go. Well, we do have some exciting news, Andy, for January 1st.
Yep.
Our conforming loan limits have increased.
By a lot.
By a lot. What does that mean, Andy? Can you break that, simplify that?
Yeah.
What does that mean to the consumer?
So you probably heard the terms conforming loan limit or jumbo or high balance loan limits. This is really just a distinction of buckets of money when it comes down to it. So the conforming loan limit is the loan limit that's allowable for the government to still issue a support and a guarantee for, is really what it is.
Yeah. And so the great thing about that to us is you borrow more money at a lower rate.
Correct.
Because once you pass that conforming or that county loan limit, your interest rate is gonna...
You get high balance and jumbo rates, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they also get more strict with that. Like your debt to income ratios and stuff like that, they're not as lenient with it. So I had to write it down because it's a new one, right? It's just gone up. But the county loan limit has gone up to, this is a nationwide kind of thing, to 726 to 100.
Yeah.
Every county has its own county loan limit.
Yes.
Okay. So for instance, in San Diego, the new county loan limit went to
$977,500
from previously
from $879,750. So that's almost $100,000 difference.
That's correct.
That's a huge move.
Andy, I wrote down exactly what that was.
$97,750.
So that's it. So you can get a lower interest rate on that much more.
And last year, that was actually high balance and jumbo territory. So they moved the water line, and all of a sudden now we're in this conforming territory, which is so crazy to me.
Correct.
But hey, that's awesome for people that are looking to buy and refinance next year.
I mean, Andy, will you remember even like this was like 4 or 5 years ago? It was like
half that? Yeah, it was in the 400,000s. That's crazy.
Change.
Remember it was 417 for years. 417,000 was like, oh, that's the conforming loan limit.
Correct.
And now we're like 977,500.
That's correct.
That's nuts.
So as we mentioned, every county has its own limit. So Riverside, you guys, Riverside also
726,200. Up from 647,200, a difference of 79,000.
Yeah,
wow.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Because we're saying in San Diego, the medium sales price was $820. It's kind of gone down to like $780.
Yeah.
Okay. Riverside, I'm gonna say it's gonna be. I'm gonna take a guess here. Don't quote me on this one because I didn't check, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be at least in the 620 range. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got to be. By this point, it has to be.
So what that means is, before, Andy, when I had to refinance somebody or give them a loan, the county loan limit was only like 4 and change. Like we said, that 417. It was so hard to get somebody in there.
Yeah.
You know, because now they had to go with a jumbo pricing 20% down.
Yep.
There was just more paperwork. So now it's actually making it easier for the consumer, which is it's phenomenal, Andy.
So what's interesting about this is as we're talking about this right now, I'm thinking, remember a couple weeks and months ago when they're like, we're not worried about housing. We're not worried about housing. Well, okay. If you know that you're about to announce in the future these new conforming loan limits, then months ago, maybe there was reason not to be worried about housing, but we don't know that until this is disclosed and told to us. So we're hearing this, and I'm like, what are they talking about?
That's exactly right. And here comes, like, if the Federal Housing Financing Agency, the FHFA, is coming out with this information for 2023, with everybody saying, you know, that's later down the line, but with everybody saying that, hey, we're in a housing bubble, etc. Well, they just announced, Andy, and I have this. Yeah. Now I understand why they announced that the FHFA HPI, which is the home price index, they mentioned that single family residents will increase in value by at least 12%. Yeah. Okay? Because that was an increase in the last 2021, 2022, third quarter. Yeah. So I think they're anticipating here something. I don't know.
So this is hard for me because I look at the such a wide variety of data, right? So I understand being optimistic, and then I understand what it's like to be feeling positive about actual data that's in front of you. Yeah. What I think is interesting about this prediction is that you have other players in the room. Like if the lights are all turned off in this room and we don't know who's in the room until the lights are turned on, you go, oh, there's more players in this room.
There's Will.
Yeah, there's Will, right? So if I'm a home buyer and I'm a person and you're a home buyer, but then over in the corner, let's say there's like a hedge fund with like, you know, $100 million and they're trying to scoop up stuff, and maybe they see the long-term 10, 20, 30-year value of paying full price for something today, knowing that over that longer period of time it'll be worth more no matter whether there's a dip or not. Correct. If they're also in the room with us, then that can be helping prop up some of these house prices. I honestly think that's part of what's happening. Yeah. I can't say that that's everything. This is speculation and opinion, but it is not just because homeowners are buying homes. Correct. The other thing I think is happening is it's situational for certain cities. Yeah. We've already talked previously about the outskirts of San Diego where some of those are softening in price. Correct. But there are people still leaving California. They're paying full price in Arizona, full price in Nevada. Vegas, exactly. Yeah. I've heard of just in this last week, Scottsdale, Phoenix, and there's another city, I'm forgetting the name. Yeah. But those three where they're actually still going up. Yeah. But it's because money that's coming from other high cost areas is going to those areas. So I think when that gets mixed in with the average, I think that's why they're still predicting they're going to see these home price increases. And last thing is you actually are you're basically setting yourself up for that. The FHFA is, because if they also know they're going to bump the conforming limit higher, guess what that allows house prices to do? Stay elevated, because the cost of money will be cheaper. So you start mixing all those things in, you go, oh, okay, I see how they're baking this cake.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Hey,
I'm sorry, that was a lot.
Is it time to relocate?
It depends.
I totally understand. You know, remember, this is the FHFA talking, right? There's a lot of stuff that's going on. We're here really feeling what we're feeling, and we're transparent with everything. Yeah. So I know that they can't be as transparent at times. So they want to give us this type of information, right? Yeah. Sounds great. I didn't see my price home, you know, I'm on my home buy. I didn't see it ticking. I've been seeing it ticking down a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know what third quarter they're talking about, so I'm going to go with that, right? But with that said, listen, right now, a lot of people, we've been hearing, Andy, we've been seeing people talking about this is going to be a housing bubble, right? Yeah. This is going to be a housing crash, right? But then we hear and we see that Fannie and Freddie Mac, their prevention side of when people can't pay, because this is happening, foreclosures happen regularly, right?
Yeah, they happen because situations, regardless,
Situations, exactly. So one of the things that they came, and I like to actually read the article, which I found very interesting, was that the FHFA issued its latest foreclosure prevention, refinance, and federal property managers report covering the month of August, okay? Which found combined Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac completed 24,603 foreclosure prevention actions.
Wow, that's in what period of time? In August?
Correct.
Oh, shoot.
24,000.
That's a lot.
Right? But how do you think they prevented that?
Okay, so my initial reaction is that's a business choice, because that's a loss. If it's FHFA, or not FHFA, I'm sorry, if it's Fannie and Freddie, they're about to take that loss. If that thing goes to foreclosure, you know, they're trying to figure out how can I salvage whatever I can. So whatever loan modifications or concessions.
There you go, bingo.
I bet that's what it was.
Bingo.
I bet that's what it was.
That's what COVID taught us, Andy. When we're having situations, COVID, hey, when we're going through it, they had that moratorium where don't make that payment, right?
Right.
And then once it was kind of done that we had to make those payments a year, oh my God, I think some people it was even almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? They did a loan modification, which they just modified their current terms and conditions in the favor of the homeowner so they wouldn't lose their home.
Yeah, I mean, think about that, right? I mean, you have to come back and reconcile all the stuff that happened on pause, right? So in the reconciliation, you're going to look at, well, what's the value of me trying to work it out and this person continuing with me, or us cutting that off and then having an asset, which we don't want. We're going to have to sell that house on the market in an inflated interest rate environment, Okay. Right?
Yes.
So considering all those things, that makes sense to me that they had so many just in that month alone.
And
that's
why
do
they do that? So Andy, why would they do that? And why would it actually make more sense to do that? Are they in the business of
First of all,
selling homes?
No, they're not. They're not in the business of selling homes, so they don't want to take on inventory to sell. Number two, they don't want the social black eye of giving a moratorium for people and then kicking them out of the house or foreclosing on them. That's bad. And then also that then creates another housing problem is you're displacing people.
Correct.
So if they're not in that house, where do they go? And then you have the monetary side, which is, well, hey, hold on. There's income connected to that. So if we work it out, that income can continue.
Yeah.
So I would estimate that it's a little bit of all those things. I'm not sure if they're equally weighted, but I would say it's all those at minimum.
Yeah. So there you go. They don't want to. They don't want to foreclose. They're not going to sell homes. They're not going to rent homes.
Yeah.
It's August. I'm curious to see when the next report comes out, but I think they're planning. Hey, let's help people out. The holidays are coming.
Yeah, that's gonna. Well, yeah, there's that too.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, which brings me to the next thing. Chase announced that they're going to buy, Andy.
I saw that.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
What was that?
Austin Powers. 1 million. Dr. Evil. $1 million.
Okay.
It's right here on the screen. Look at that.
1 billion. 1 billion.
billion
in single-family home rentals. It's what they're looking. They're trying to get in this business, right?
Yeah.
Then behind them came Blackstone. Andy,
of course.
Did you hear how much?
No, I don't know.
Have you guys heard? Guys, I'm telling you. That's why I'm thinking price of homes also we may not see a crash because these big ballers are gonna so we'll see what happens, but $50 billion.
What? Okay, I didn't see that number. 50
billion dollars. Right? So there you go.
Wow.
I don't
even know what to say.
Not 1 billion.
50 billion?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. But that also, yeah, but that they have to get that inventory from somewhere. So like they must think there's inventory coming, or there's inventory coming online that's going to be built that they're going to be cash flowing to buy that. But that also means they're thinking again, back to the 10, 15, 20, 30 years thing.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, that's crazy.
Who now owns the most rural land in the nation?
Rural land or farmland? You're talking about
farmland.
Are you trying to say?
No, farmland. Yeah.
Are you trying to say that Microsoft guy's name? Yeah, that Microsoft guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Believe that?
I can and I can't. Like I get it, but
talking about trying to control things.
Yeah. So when we talk about this and we're kind of unpacking these things, like okay, I get why. First of all, there's not a crash. Is there a bubble? It's hard to argue there's a bubble without a crash. Those are synonymous in my opinion. Would there be a correction? We're already seeing corrections in some places because they have to happen as a function of cost of money, et cetera, et cetera.
That's correct.
But at the same time, if you have these big players scooping up with just straight cash, that is very interesting to me because that means that they're going to try to ease the correction as much as possible. Yeah. But what that's going to do is they already know it's squeezing people out. Maybe the former first-time home buyers.
I don't even want to talk about that, Andy.
Well, I think what they're looking at now is just permanent renters. What does it look like to just have permanent renters? That's what this is. Why would you spend $50 billion if you didn't think you'd have permanent renters, right?
No,
Am I missing something?
Yeah, no. You should, and especially if they're going to probably go towards that first-time buyer / incomes, because we could identify what incomes are in certain areas.
Yeah.
What I mean? So,
that's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I was just blown away with that information. So I'm seeing everything that's going on. I'm feeling that there's confidence in our government doing these things and seeing how can we figure out other windows of opportunity for the regular consumer to go in there,
Yeah, I mean, That's crazy. I didn't know the number was that large. I'm like stumped.
Yeah,
I'm like, wow,
it is.
The number is like in my head.
If you're stumped with
like
that, I have another one, guys.
Oh God.
Hey, we all love FIFA World Cup. It's
I need a
going on
motion
right
sickness
now.
tablet right now.
I know, exactly.
Seasick, sitting
So
down.
here's FIFA. You know, it's soccer in the U.S.
Yeah.
Football. You know, saw the great commercial with Peyton Manning and David Beckham. Man, that guy's really good looking. But it was funny. Football, soccer, right?
Yep.
Soccer in the U.S., football everywhere else practically in the world. But anyhow, it's in Qatar, one of the warmest places. The reason they had to change it from June to during these months because it's much cooler.
Because of the heat, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So they spent right now $210
billion.
That's it.
On
Stadiums.
on hosting it.
Stadiums, exactly.
Okay, I didn't see that number. That's
exactly
insane.
And I mean, we all know that is the
Dude,
most
that's
expensive.
so
Brazil, when they did in Brazil, it didn't even go that far.
That's a lot. That's so much money.
So guess where we have to move, guys?
Wait, moving to Qatar? Are we moving to Qatar?
Yeah, there's no recession.
Just announced we're moving to Qatar.
There's no recession there. You know what I mean? It's like 210 billion, you guys. That's a lot of money. You know, just for building stadiums. That is just crazy.
That's insane. That's 4 times the amount of the big number you just dropped on me from Blackstone. That's insane.
That's it.
$210 billion.
Go USA. We're in. Okay, we're in the freaking. You know, this is it. Next Saturday we'll play against the Netherlands. So let's go USA. Mexico is still in. We'll see what happens with that. Exciting times, Andy.
Cross-border rivalry maybe there, and we get a little closer to the end. If they can make it that far.
That's it.
Okay, you dropped a lot of numbers on me. My mind is still processing half what you just told me, which is not normal for me in this show.
Yeah. And again, Andy,
thank you.
We're here to give that information, right? Everything's not doom and gloom. There's a lot of good things that are coming out of this, and there's a lot of financing options that they're still available that we're still working with, etc. And I think with that, with the rates being the way they are, you know, we'll see what happens on the next. Actually, that's a better question.
The next Fed meeting that's coming up.
What's going to happen, Andy?
So,
you usually
we're gonna have 2 other videos after this one before that next Fed meeting on December 14th. They are likely to have a lower rate hike than they thought.
0.25%,
right? They've
maybe?
been doing 75, 75, 75. Everyone's been thinking, oh, they're going to go 50. It might actually be 25. I don't know. The way the market's acting today, it's almost like they're expecting it to land slow at 25. At the time of this recording, the mortgage market already today, intraday, is better than it was when it opened because of statements and comments that were just made. We'll actually talk more in December about what that means for the new year, because if they're making those moves now and they're predicting that now, that means they are feeling confident quietly and privately about their fight against inflation, which I'm super excited to see. I'm so excited to see that course correct for us all.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, no more $8 gallon of milk.
I hope not. That's
just got to be killing people. Like I'm very fortunate. I feel like I can buy that gallon of milk, but there's got to be people that make that choice. Do I buy a half gallon or not? Like
everything seems to be like
different conversation,
But hey, anyways, Andy, I think this was a lot of great information, a lot of key points.
They're wrecking my mind today.
Yeah, we're starting to see what these things are. Google them, go search them.
Yeah.
It's all up there. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And again, Andy, the brains, you know, the guy just knows finance. He sees the market. You know, you're a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
Really.
I hope
you know
to be.
what I mean? And so we just want to bring this information to you guys as always. We want to make sure you guys are one step ahead. You know, so please continue to share with your friends. Continue to follow. And we'll always strive to bring you the most current information that we have. And break it, simplify it, right? Because I'm one of those, Andy, I got to read like 3-4 times to understand it.
Oh,
you know?
me too. I'm just not out the gate like understanding everything all the time.
Right.
That takes time. Well, great topic today. Great multiple topics, actually. You totally stumped me on a couple. I'm like, wow, okay, this is interesting. I didn't think about that. So that's good. And we're going to talk more about rates in this month. And then we're going to talk about the Fed once they bring their rate announcement and what they say in the middle of the month. And then we're going to have an awesome December. I'm really excited about this month. So
I'm excited too.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this week. Please share, like he said, comment, ask us questions in below. Tell us what things you want us to talk about. We're going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week.
That's it. So it's Christmas time. This time we can gift it in a message if you guys DM us what you guys want, okay? Time of giving, Andy.
All right. Thank you guys. See you next time.